Once, please, for commission. No talk. Good afternoon, ladies, commissioners, management, members of the Fourth Estate. On behalf of the ECSL, I want to welcome you to this press conference and to call the session to order. Without much ado, I would want to hand you over to the Chief Electoral Commissioner and Chairman of the ECSL, Mr. Mohammed Konneh. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Director of Communication Media. Thank you again. Thank you, the media, for honoring our invitation. I know since 27th of June last year, when we announced the results, we have not had the privilege or the opportunity to engage the media. So today, on the anniversary of the polling day, the Commission decided to call the media to have one-on-one discussion so that we'll be able to dispel many of the rumors or the lies being told about us or about the processes leading to the 2023 June general elections. As an institution, we are very much mindful of the fact that we work for the interests of the people of Sierra Leone. And then we are also mindful of the mandates we have that conferred by the Constitution of Sierra Leone. We are also mindful of the interests of the key players or stakeholders we have or we work with in order to implement or carry out our activities. We know we have major or many Sierra Leoneans who are appreciative of our job. And then we also have some Sierra Leoneans who have questioned our integrity. But that makes it very interesting. As somebody said, I said it this morning, as an electoral management body, we are not expected to be loved by everybody. We are expected to carry on our functions within the laws without fear or favor. At the end of the day, our responsibility is to give account of our mandates within the legal provisions, within the Constitution. So the pressure of expectations from certain quarters of the society, it's not something that drives our work or our actions or our policies. Rather, we are guided strictly by what the law says. So today we are here to give certain updates and make certain clarifications for the interests for Sierra Leoneans. The Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone has conducted a series of elections. I think the last election was the 6th, since the introduction of multi-party. And we are guided by, as a commission, by the Constitution, by elections acts, several elections acts, by standards established over the years, either national or international. So today we're here to interact. The approach of this interaction, we have prepared a statement on key areas, but we will also be responding to questions after the statement. You are free to ask questions in Creole. If you care, you can also answer questions in English, because this audience or this information we are sending out is not only for people who speak English, but for our people in Sierra Leone, many of whom cannot speak or understand English, and they will prefer language that we can all communicate in. So you can speak Creole to ask questions, and we can also respond to questions in Creole. So now let me go to the press statement before we come to questions. Feel free. It is your day. It is our birthday. So we are celebrating the birthday with the media. In other words, it is the anniversary of June 24th. So we are celebrating this birthday or anniversary with the media today. And I hope Director of Communication, you provided the necessary logistics or refreshment for our media friends.
Yeah. They know how we can set it.
Very important. So let me go to the press statement. A total of 2,789,808 registered voter turnouts in the June 24th, 2023 elections, exactly 1 year ago, with 52.88% being female and 47.12% being male. The 2023 elections recorded one of the lowest invalid votes, consistent with the recent trend in reduction of invalid votes. 2007 recorded 7.30%. 2012 had 4.70%. 2018 first round 5.20%. 2018 runoff had 1.24%. And 2023 will reduce it to 0.39%. This is due to the robust electoral education strategy put in place as part of the 2018 Election Observation Mission recommendations. And this trend has been continuing even in primary chieftaincy elections, as shown in the table below. For instance, Falaba, the Kwenadugu, Yeria, Chiefdom, the voter invalid votes recorded is 0.5. And what is interesting, for this election, you had 23 candidates contested for this PC election. In Gawara Chiefdom, Konneh, you had 0.3%, where you had 7 candidates. And in Bond District, Panga Kemo, Chiefdom, you have 0.8%, where you had 6 candidates. In other words, those who are questioning whether the data, the invalid votes for the 2023 presidential election is genuine, was not manipulated. We have seen the trend of downwards movement of invalid votes from 2007 onto 2023. So instead of celebrating that as an achievement, we have people who are questioning that. And the other interesting thing we need to also understand, you look at the 2018 elections, where you had series of political parties in the first round, where we recorded 5.2%. But then when it came to the runoff, you only have two political parties. And these two political parties, the symbols of APC and SLPP, is well known to everybody. So when you go to the station, many of the voters, they are only looking for the symbol. They are not even looking at the faces, who is on that ballot paper. So it is easier for people to vote correctly for the parties they want to vote for. And then when we use the proportional representation again, it makes it easier for people to easily vote for the candidates of their choice. So it's good to note that. Another information is that on Tuesday, 11 June 2024, the Commission presented the annual Amortitia Election Report 2023 to His Excellency, the President, Dr. Julius Maada, in line with Section 32(12) of the Constitution. This report is intended in the legal provision, which demand the Commission to submit every year annual reports. But because we had elections in 2023, and therefore the annual reports, we decided for the first time to prepare election reports, with the annual reports submitted to the President, and that report we are going to share with the public once it is laid in Parliament. We have forwarded the report to Parliament. So we share the details of the reports. It is good for research purposes, that it is also good to understand how we went about the election. It's not only on the election day, but all activities we undertook up leading to the 2023 election. We are not only going to distribute the report, we are also going to engage with stakeholders. That's what we have started today. Engaging the stakeholders, engaging the public to tell our own story. Over the past 12 months, even before the elections, there have been so many perceptions filled the air that has created doubts about the integrity of this institution. So we've decided to go back to the public to tell our own story, so people have the option of either believing us based on the facts we present, or say they still trust what has been prepared against the Commission. The report also provides gender analysis of nominated candidates, voter turnout, as well as elected representatives. The report highlights status of the implementation of the 2022-2024 strategic plan, providing indications of how far has the Commission progressed in implementing its programs and activities. I'm sure every electoral cycle we have submitted strategic plans. We have also reviewed recommendations. And this time around, we have decided to give account how we are able to implement the strategic plan. Therefore, for the strategic plan, which has over 100 and something activities, the Commission, at date, we have implemented 64.67% of the activities of the strategic plan. We have 14.97% of activities that are partially implemented. We have 15.57% of activities in progress, and we have 4.79% of activities are yet to be achieved. These details are also in our election report. In other words, if you are grading the commission based on the implementation of the activities, we are within B plus and A plus, because we already have 64.67% and we have 14.97 partially completed. So by the end of the year, by the end of the electoral cycle strategic plan, which is this year, we are confident that we'll be able to implement up to 80% of the activities outlined in the strategic plan. And some of the evidence you can see from you have been to this building before 2020. You can see the progress, you can see the improvement, even in the infrastructure. If you have been to the warehouse, you can also see the difference. You can even ask staff within the commission in terms of the welfare, in terms of the systems we have put in place. So in other words, these are activities or achievements which are not apparent and which people are not interested in, but rather everybody talk about election. And there are so many things we put on before we get to the polling day. All of these activities are part of the processes we have gone through. I think it is also crucial for the commission to talk about our participation towards the cross-party committee on electoral system and management bodies review, known as the tripartite. When the pronouncement was made in Parliament by the President that he was going to set up a committee to look into the electoral system, as a commission, when we came back, we were a little bit concerned. But when we analyze the situation, when we look back and reflect on what has been happening over the past 6 elections, President was right to set up a committee to look into the electoral system, because as he mentioned when we submitted our reports, he has been victim and he has been beneficiaries of the system. In other words, he took the Electoral Commission to court in 2012. When we conducted the election 2023, APC had questions about the system. So it was good that he set up this committee. And therefore, as a commission, we decided that we have to fully cooperate with the tripartite or the committee set up, the tripartite committee. The launch of the tripartite interparty dialogue meeting, we were invited, we went there, we represented the commission, one of the commissioner went. As their work progressed, they sent us requests for certain information. Out of the information they requested, we provided about 70%. There are certain information we did not provide because we classified this information. And it has nothing to do with the relevance or the TOR of the committee. I will clearly justify why. Subsequent to the provision of the information, we are also invited. Remember, the committee is not only looking at the 2023 election, but rather all elections conducted from 2007. I was invited, and I'm aware other commissioners were invited, but only the chair of Konneh, who conducted Konneh, who conducted the 2018 election, went. Madam Top did not attend the meeting, but we went because we were confident in what we did. And they had questions, over 50 questions, which they had prepared without our knowledge. We went there for easier of the administration of these questions. They shared the questions with us as they asked the questions. So we were there, answer to all of these questions, and the questions were not asked by a single person, but rather all the representatives, both SLPP and APC representatives, on the panel. They all ask questions, a pre-prepared questions, and we answer all the questions. At the end of the day, I think you saw the photographs after the interview. It was very friendly, and some of them even to a point asked my staff, "Hey guys, una clap for una chair." Then we came back. After a few days or about a week, that was when we received another letter. Let me clarify this. Before we went for the interview, when we received the first correspondence from the tripartite committee, it was signed by all the committee co-chairs. But subsequently, when we were invited, the letter was signed by the expatriate secretary. So as a commission, we said, no, we have set the standard. If any correspondence is coming from the tripartite committee, it has to be signed by the co-chair. So the letter went back, we responded in writing, and then the letter was subsequently, the invitation letter was subsequently signed by the co-chairs. So on that basis, we went. So when we came back, we received a letter only signed by representatives of the APC in the committee, requesting us to provide clarification on several issues we have addressed, either in the document we provided or when we appear in person. So our response was just two paragraphs. A, that the letter was not properly signed by the co-chairs, and B, we have provided the clarifications they were seeking from us, either in the document we submitted or when we appear during the interview for 5 hours we were there. So that was the letter. If you have seen people referring to us of that we are bluffing, we cannot escape justice, we cannot escape. We just wanted people to understand that we have always expressed our commitment to ensure that we support whatever genuine intention we have to improve on the electoral system in Sierra Leone. That's why, even in my statement to President, I stated clearly that as a commission, this is not the first time we are reviewing the system. Every elections, we review electoral system and then bring on board issues that were concerned for the outcome of that election. So we are not against any review. So we welcome whatever recommendations that will come out of the tripartite committee. In fact, I was saying this morning, maybe we have to borrow from the English League or the FIFA to introduce VAR in electoral system. We all remember, before 2-3 years ago, or when Ferguson was the chair of ahead of Manchester. That's not there. Liverpool there and Liverpool man they talk. We easiest target is always that. So they have introduced system that will assist referees. So if at the end of the day the electoral recommendation is for this commission, when they are doing elections, to transmit the result from the field to the center, to project, to publish disaggregated data, let's have the law. We don't have the law. In fact, when we attempted, before the election, when we attempted to introduce transmission of results from polling center to our centralized system, so that it will be easier and faster to process and announce the result, that was kicked against by the APC. The Peace Commission called a meeting at Bitumani conference where we had international partners, even ECOWAS was there, and discussed this issue. And one question they asked, I remember even the ECOWAS, one question they asked, Mr. Chair, if you do not introduce this new technology system, will it affect the election? We say no. Say, okay, for the sake of peace, abandon that. That was, we had prepared, we had bought, we have developed a system that we automatically, once the results are counted at the center, it is photoshopped and transmitted directly in the presence of political parties. But they say, no wonder one day. They say if we send out, we will send the result at the cloud, and then from the cloud, somebody deal with the manipulator before the result can up. So they say, no one time. We say, okay, fine, let's go by the manual way of doing things. So during the period of the election, we all look at we know what are the provisions for the result management. The other issues which has been propagated against the commission is that we did not follow the procedure for result management. The ECS would like to inform the public that the 2023 results announced conforms with the standard of announcement of election results over the past electoral cycle, 2007, 2012, 2018, as directed under Section 92 of the Commission, of the PA. In other words, from 2007 to 2018, results are counted at the stations, at station level. Party agents, observers present. Results are entered into the result reconciliation form, and copy of the result reconciliation form issued to political parties and then posted on the wall of the centers or the stations. These results are placed in the tampered evidence envelope, sealed in the presence of the political parties, and put there in the box, the empty boxes, or the ballot boxes, sealed in their presence, and then the coordinators of those reward areas will collect these results, take the results to the district offices, to the district election managers or district election officers. The district election officer will collect all these results, take them to the regional tally centers. I think in 2007, there was only one center, if I'm not mistaken. National Tally Center. The subsequent election, the commission introduced regional centers, where the results are taken to the centers, are tallied in the presence of political parties, observers. We have photos for 2023 tally venues of observers sitting and watching the process. Some of the claims they have made, they had no access to where these data, the results were entered. We recall constituency 110. We recall what happened in Kabbalah in the by-elections, where ballot boxes were taken. So therefore, the only way we tried it in 2018 at the National Tally Center, where we created transparent glass barrier where people will sit and see what is happening. It's not opaque. It's not opaque at all. It's transparent. So what an introduction again, a new addition we made. 2018 election, we all saw the frustration of the time it took to announce the result. So as a commission, we decided to increase on the number of manpower that we do the intake of the results and then process. But it's like you are sitting there, then I'm working from here. The results reconciliation envelopes were taken from where the observers are, registered and taken to, in the presence of this observer, open and given out to all the entry clerks. And we had double entry situation. If I enter the figures here and I giving it to you, the figure I enter should correspond to what he is going to enter. If there are any changes, it will not accept for it to go through. So these processes were explained before the election to political parties. We demonstrated at the warehouse how we are going to do the election. Nobody objected. We never said we are going to project results. We never said that we are going to project results. Until the day for the election, when they were tallying, that's why when the opposition, especially in the north, they started demanding that we have to project the results for them to see. So that has never been part of our policy or regulations we developed for this election. So we went ahead to do the tally. And they were there. Throughout the process, they were there. We have the register where they signed. They were present throughout at all the centers that we created for the tallying of the results. So in other words, what we are saying, we follow the standard that as an organization, as a country, we had established from 2007, 2012, 2018, and 2023. The procedure of tallying did not change. The introduction of new system we wanted, they kicked against it. So we had no options but to revert to the procedure, the standard we had established. I also want to talk about this new picture about disaggregated data. It started from the registration. You see, it is always good for people to be honest. And honesty is guided by the facts and you have knowledge about the circumstances. These two political parties have existed before many of us were born. They are in politics and they do anything to win. But what is unfair is when you use the institution to appease your supporters. It's like after every football match, the supporters are angry with the coach or the team manager. And then the team manager will come and say, "Oh, not the referee." So that's what the political parties are doing to ECSL. The only way they can get your supporters to believe that they won the election, but somebody took it away from them, is to look at the referee. Misinform and turn the fact, what America they call alternative facts. When we were doing the voter registration, there has never been a situation where voter register, disaggregated voter register, issued to political parties 2 months or immediately after the field capture of data of voter register. It has never. But the moment we concluded the field capture, when we were even developing the provisional list, we had the request coming from the opposition, and then subsequently new also came asking us they want to audit the process. So we asked, what do you want to audit? And why do you want to audit? To give credibility to the process. What credibility is lacking in the process? So we deny outrightly on the basis that it has never happened. And secondly, these are provisional data which need to be processed to ensure that we correct whatever mistakes, to ensure that we include whoever wants to change the allocations. So we said we are not going to give any disaggregated voter register. But we'll give you the voter register once you conclude all the activities necessary to have a credible voter register. So that's where the problem started between us and our friends. So when we concluded, about 3 or so weeks to the election, we finally gave out in hard copy, in soft copy, to all political parties. But there comes again the honesty of politicians. Before we went to the Bintumani peace discussion, APC was saying we have not given them this data and they are going to pull out of the election. But when we came, we have given them before the conference. But when the conference, we had the discussion, they came back and said, oh yes, actually now ECSL give all the data we will be asked for. So they go participate for the pool. Is that honesty? We have given you this document a week or so before this meeting. And then for you suddenly to come and say, no, now then give it. So the intention about all of these issues, which we are dealing with post-2023 election, the foundations were laid before even we get to the pool. Before even we got to the pool, we have already been blacklisted because people at the end of the day, we have a reason to say we won this election, but because of credibility, lack of integrity of the Electoral Commission, they denied us our victory. So that's why I'm saying political parties should completely forget about blackmailing the electoral management body. They should take the responsibility of politics as their profession or as their business with genuine intention. Get the resources. Don't go and raise funds for international observers to come and observe and give you credence. Raise funds for your party to have observers at the polling station level, at the talent center, so that they will monitor and account to you. If you say the ECSL result we declare is not in line with what you have, but you've never provided what you have. It's like the Quran. When people say the Quran, Quran is not correct, God asks them, just provide one sentence. One sentence of the Quran and tell me whether the Quran is something that was created by man. We have provided results, summary, district aggregated data. If you think that is not in line with what you have not even produced even the fallible results to show that your result is against what we have published. And the issue of disaggregated data, it is not something that you can just pressure, you can just say, Mohammed Konneh producer. No. It's not part of our law. It's not a precedent. So therefore, it is not something you just say, produce this, then, okay, stop. No, we're not by anybody. You have the opportunity. We provided the environment. We provided the space for your agents to be present at every polling station. And they were all giving results reconciliation forms. Ask your agents to produce them. The opposition in Liberia won the election. They had the resources. They collected resources in order to monitor their elections. They even used private helicopter to go to different hard-to-reach areas to collect their result reconciliation form. But in this election, or in all elections, you go to the north, you will hardly see certain area, you hardly see SLPP party agents. You go to the south, certain areas, you hardly see APC party agents. And when you ask, they say, no, they will go beat we found them. They're not allowed. Then they expect ECSL, who they are. When they receive the result, when they're not processed, they come with them. You say, no, not to this result, you suppose forget. No. So we train our staff. We provided the logistics. We give them the code and conduct for them to conduct elections. It is our responsibility to provide a space. It is not our responsibility for make political parties, for develop results for the political party, for counter what we produce. We don't produce what we produce. And the law be clear. It was part of my statement. If the results not satisfy, you're not satisfied, not only a political party, every citizen. You can go to court, Supreme Court, to give us, to demand us to provide whatever information we want. So going forward, as the commissioner has said, we are open. We are not saying we conducted the best elections or we conducted problem-free elections in 2023. But we did our best to ensure that we comply with the law and we meet the international standards. And the results we declare represents the will of the people as demonstrated as they cast their vote for their choice of candidates. Other than that, if you have anything contrary, we need to move forward. They have said a lot. I want to appeal now to the political parties. Go and organize your parties. Go and raise funds for your party to be effective in monitoring election, in participating in elections. Forget about ECSL. Whatever we do, we have always brought information. We have always shared our regulations to political parties. And if we go against the activity, the policy, the regulations, it is your responsibility to hold us accountable. But don't hold us accountable on your perception without proving any fact. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Maybe one last point to talk about. One of the claims in the tripartite here saying there was overvoting. We release the vote, we release the valid votes, we release the void votes, and the total. The law is clear what is overvoting. Let people that know misinform you. Overvoting is a situation where the number of registered voters for a center or a station, the number where they cast exceed the number of registered voters. In other words, if this station we have on the voter register, which we share with political parties, we have on the register 300 registered voters. Then at the end of the pool, you have 305 or you have 400. That clearly is an overvoting, and the law says we should immediately cancel that vote. So for this election, we will not receive any evidence, we will not receive any reconciliation form where it contradicts, where they above the registered voter in each or any of the stations we declare the results. So we want for despair that where people then say they are starting station 300 and something, and not possible. If that be possible, then for don't they pull their centers a day. If for don't they not the record. In fact, for the reconciliation center, we have programmed all the center in the system. So once you enter figure above the voter registered figure for that center, it will not even go on. It will not proceed to anywhere, not even at the first entry. So the question of people saying overvoting, you don't get any water for all. Now that's made them be pass a law after 2007, where law not be there, where they say any overvoting, where occur, where you vote more than waiting register, therefore nullify that result there. Now that's made for violent in 2018. We say now any violent occur at any station, we cancel that result. So as I say, regulations will always be amended. So if going forward, we therefore introduce the VAR, let's bring it on our laws. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. The VAR will very soon come into operation. Okay, we've listened to the Chairman and National Return Officer. I'm sure we'll have some questions. So we'll take questions, or we'll take 5 at a time, and then we'll allow the commission to respond, and then we'll come back and take another set of 5. Okay, so Ango will move out, Mr. Kanu will move out with the mic, and I think the first person whose hand was up was the man by the. Please ask only one question.
Good afternoon, sir. Reading Joseph Tui on SLPP. One of the statements you see, ECSL will be for implement the recommendations from the Tripartite Committee. And in case a recommendation in a committee report, then an ordinary law, what ECSL will do.
Yes, next.
Yes. In name Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. According to the law, every party agent therefore being a police station the start of the voting. So in case ECSL being the police station at 7 o'clock when the voting starts, then there's no party representative nodding. So what ECSL can do, and that's it.
Thank you.
Isaac Unisa Kamara, the Compass newspaper. According to the commissioner here, he told us that the president has been a victim of the system, at the same time, a beneficiary of the system. So I would like to know if there are ills or disadvantages which the president has been a victim of those systems, of those disadvantages, and now he's not a beneficiary of those ills. And where are these ills? Why?
Divine CC, Voice of Salon Radio. The question is according to the Electoral Commissioner, we've been trying to say, now that the party in the cry for, more especially the opposition, when they be right to now, waiting and the things they want to be clear to them because I don't think they need to be still they insist on one role as media people there.
The name of Madam Kamala, I write for New Citizen newspaper. The issue of the name of Madam Kamala, I write for New Citizen newspaper. The issue I want to highlight on here is the issue of lack of public trust from the ECSL. That is not for do with APC or SLPP because the present government back then in 2018 accused the commission saying they went ahead for announced election when count is to take place. And even this 2023, we will see similar thing like that. Don accredited international elections observers act say the record series of mathematical impossibilities in the termination of this 2023 election. So my question to you, Mr. Commissioner, what do you think say we need for try for restore public trust as recorded in the TRC report? Because most of the institutions, they are ECSL and the others now, 6 out of 10 Sierra Leone we ask will not get problems are one or the other. So that's my question.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we've got up to 5. And I'm sure we'll now allow the commissioner to respond, the chief electoral commissioner to respond.
All right. My colleague will come in and the technical staff, operations, IT, they're here, will come in to respond to some of this, to add beef to whatever I'm going to say. If recommendation is not in line with the law, surely all the recommendations that we implemented for the 2023 elections, many of them were not part of the law. So what we did, we had extensive stakeholders engagement, developed policy towards legalizing these recommendations. and we included it in the public elections bill that we took to Parliament, and then was passed into law. So it's the same procedure we follow. If the recommendations are not part of the law, we ensure that we work with the necessary stakeholders, government, civil society, to develop policies and then forward to the Parliament and then for their consideration. And I'm sure they will do the necessary thing. Of course, party agents, it's not a responsibility for ECSL or party agents to be present at the polling station. Our responsibility is to issue accreditation to political parties and their agents, transportation, or to represent, to be there. It is a responsibility of the political party. So that's why even the regulations we develop, where party agents fail to sign the voter the result reconciliation form, that will not negate the results. In some instances, they will say we are not going to sign, or we will process the result as long as it meets our processes and procedure. The questions APC requested from the tripartite, basically they were asking for disaggregated data. And we clear on the disaggregated data that we are not going to provide any disaggregated data because it has never been done, it's not within the law, and it will not add any value to what they were doing. What the law says, what the terms of reference said, the results as announced by ECSL. And the law says, district summary, regionally certified district election manager certified results, the regional commissioner or regional returning officer certified results, and the national returning officer certified results. I will provide all these results there from 2007, 2018, 2012, and 2023. So we did not provide any disaggregated data for 2007. We did not provide any disaggregated data for 2012, or 2018. So therefore, 2023, we're not going to provide disaggregated data. So, public trust. Public trust, as I open my statement, is a matter of perception. And your perception, public perception, is driven by the leadership. If you go to the Southeast, you ask about perception or the level of trust on the ECSL, you will see higher rating. If you come to the Northwest, you ask for the perception of ECSL, you will get lower rating from what you get from the Southeast. Before the election, there was a perception survey conducted by IGR, which rated ECSL about 60-something% in terms of trust. So before election, even in Parliament, with all the noise, when we went to the public election or the approval of one of the commissioners, all the political parties in Parliament there, they commended us the way we had prepared ourselves for the election. So public perception is about interest. When we were doing voter registration, there were a lot of cries in the Western area, and I decided to go in district to district. And in all the stations I visited or centers, the question I asked the party representative, even on election day, this has always been my trend. Whenever I go to a station, who are the party agents? Yes, APC, SLPP. How do you see the process? We are fine with it, no problem. It was the same thing for voter registration. But when we come here, we hear the leaders saying something different. So it is about your interest. The interest and persistent, continuous repetition of that interest will create the picture of being the fact, the truth. So that's the problem we have. And it is unfortunate, the generation we are now, with the social media, you can sit somewhere and just narrate a story. You just in a room, just narrate a story. Then it becomes perception. It becomes the fact based on the audience. Very recently, somebody posted on social media, Konneh, we Konneh sending family in America with different name with diplomatic passports. Why they are with my family? So these are some of the things that we are as election management body. It's not only us that have to really guard our electoral or democracy, but us as a citizen, we need to come out when we have the facts, when we doubt the story, to get the story from the people affected. Otherwise, if we just say we listen to Adebayo audio, it's a problem. Few days ago, the perception we are talking about, people said they were coming, right? And because of that, the whole city, nobody came out. Very few people of us came to our offices. The economic impact of that, because we had to believe that when somebody say let us come out, people they come out. At the end of the day, nobody not come out. So these are some of the issues about perception. Our responsibility as electoral commissioner is to ensure that we provide the environment. We open the space, we tell our story, we bring inclusivity into our processes. But then it is up to those that are supposed to work with us to give out the correct story to people. Rather than hearing when we come here, you go out and say different story. So like that, we open up, we work with people, we explain what we are doing, and then the people will be, the leaders will transmit that information correctly to their supporters, so that gradually will be the perception of the institution. Commissioners.
Yes. I would like to address the question on mathematical inconsistencies. And I think if you read the reports, what they are saying is the turnout for presidential elections is different from parliamentary elections. But we would like to provide an answer to that. Now, firstly, you know that on polling day, a lot of people, the security, polling staff, and even party agents, who will not be able to vote in the centers where they register. And we allow them to vote. But you can only vote for the presidential elections as per our procedures. So if you add all these figures, the security forces deployed, ASLAF, SLP, and the 19,000 polling staff, and all the party agents who are allowed to vote. So obviously the turnout is going to be more for presidential elections than for the parliamentary elections. And even if you look at the 2018 EU reports, you will see that because it is the same procedure, the turnout is also different. And if you want to do that research, I refer you to page 60 of the 2018 EU reports. You will see the variance in terms of the turnout. So in terms of mathematical inconsistency, definitely because we allow other people who are deployed on polling day, who will not be able to go to their own centers where they registered to vote, we do allow them to vote. And because of that, there will be an increase in the turnout for presidential elections and for parliamentary elections. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I think they've answered all the questions. Now we want to move on to the next set. Yes. Okay, Commissioner Alpha.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we handle that also?
Yeah, okay. I mean, good way you ask that question, because that's how we avoid misconception that president benefited from system. Just look at what they say, water way they drink. You get so many particles we can under. But when you take something under everybody they with itself. Would I not the away in OC 207 where SLPP cry against the election? 2012, President Guna Court. 2018, APC not congratulate President. Then say they're not satisfied with her. So what would they say? The system, what would they condemn now? Where everybody they say this system is not correct. Now the same system we don't use from 2007, 2012, 2018. So now we don't say this system is disadvantage one person or the other. So basically now in that sense I they talk about. The system not get any problem. But people then don't say this system are where they use. I mean, for example, even the appointment of commissioners. Now be done, the president always be done the appoint. The same procedure. This commission will meet here, where they talk say now one regional commission, one region commission, the staff there, and not recruit up to 10 new people there from outside, from where Konneh. So they were recruited by previous commissioner and chairs of the commission. You understand? So, but then they will create a situation that when we don't Konneh and we don't bring all the Southeastern back in the for able to do whatever they think say the commission they do. So in other words, if we now don't get the experience, say the system, we need for improve on that, they will all work towards that. So if you've been good then, President Nkrumah benefit from her. President Madabio benefit from the system. Then it's also good for 2023. If we not say it's not good 2007, 2012, 2018, then they all benefited from her. So it's not something where we can say, now Mohammed Konneh change the system. No. Now the law. So let us all sit down and look at the law and see, say, as I say, if this one, first way the issue of overvoting cannot be there, right? Then we bring the law for overvoting. 2018, we see violence. We say, okay, let's bring the law for against violent election. So this year, we say let's introduce VAR, things the way we done they happen before, we all don't accept as a standard and best practice in our context. We now say no matter again. Then let's introduce VAR. Thank you.
I just go and add to some aspects of what Chair say. I happen to be one of the oldest serving staff by then and now commissioner at this commission. Just as you say, Chair, okay, book parable, they say what is good for the goose is good for the gander. Along the line from 2005, when we joined this commission, we began what they call the 7 steps reform matrix, where the then chairperson, Madam Christiana, talked with. Now, being as a result of concerns that we don't come up from the 1996 and 2002 elections, immediate post-conflict elections that we country to conduct. And after that, as a commission, we strive to see how best we will capacitate to start them. Some of you join this commission, we not ever know it in a tribalism. We not ever know it in a regionalism. But along the line, there have been reforms, legal reforms. The reformation take place in line with laws. Not only 2 political parties, Lord knows say we have more than 2 political parties in this country. This past election will conduct about 13 political parties in the state. So not just they restrict the concerns on only 2 political parties. But back to the issue, Chair already addressed that. Somebody will come, he said this law, and they do put them into place for suit me convenience. But that very law we don't put for suiting convenience, when you don't go into opposition, it don't be contrary to what you don't say. So now that's can be the type of project about the president, somebody being victim and beneficiary. One person who wins today will tomorrow cry down the system. And when he is in opposition, will say, wait, maybe don't agree for, I not agree again. At no time in the history of this country, we don't ever give disaggregated data. Newest lawyer, Commissioner Kuma, we don't tell her among the commissioners, past any of the police, we know ever producer, we know ever one. And when we go on the tripartite committee meeting today, we tell them they will. Not to me say we not tell them. Even after we don't tell them, now they write letter back for tell me. Say then one time. They pass one guy they say appetite they come out tomorrow. You know if you say tripartite committee, say appetite they come out. So they dance. I just put in the last door, I saw back, I leave, I go. The perception, the gullibility of people that are gullible. Go sit on a corner, write small things, send them to them. They will go by it. But we remain to be steadfast as a commission. The chair will permit me for that talk small or more than the next set of questions that come. Because we say now human beings there. We are in this country, we know they go no side. Now here we dey. But a lot of things that they go around about we are human beings. We are part of the system. But one assurance one give now for say, waiting will do 2023 for conduct the elections. They're not different from the elections that will be on the conduct. And we stand by the law. And nothing not the bend we not I will not the bend. Waiting being at the truth, now the truth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Commissioner. So I think we can go on at the other end now. And look for the woman in force. Woman, Uber now. I will come to you. It will be the next one.
Good evening. Ibrahim Tanko, African 21 newspaper. I heard Commissioner say the opposition raised for international competition. Which opposition specifically we talk about? Then one man, the commissioner I agree with you say bad laws are laws. Because all within emphasize bad laws and whatever we change into good laws. Thank you.
Next person.
Thank you very much. Sayo Kamara, editor-in-chief for Times newspaper. The commissioner and Konneh we are not emphasized on the issue of what is good for the bush is also good for the land.
Nami talker. I said Nami talker.
Yeah. So putting emphasis on that. Is it that what you do now we develop land? Because from what the commissioner Konneh talk say perception of the children, if you go to the south, it is all well and good for the ECSL. You go to the north, northeast, a different thing. So are you happy with that kind of perception as a national institution? Then secondly, is it a payback for the president because you don't suffer a lot?
Let us stick to the rules, please. One question at a time. There are others.
Mr. Commissioner, nothing say you let's respond, not the extension, always why not the response, why not they say the things there are now extension on the as it is that nothing stands the result of the late response. When you say just silence and not say anything. Secondly, when I talk say the environment we get massive. Yeah, let's thank you. You said the turnout from the presidential is so massive as a result of some people have not been able to go and decide the register as a result of that due to some reasons. But I don't know how to do for manage that. You know, things say it will appear because the names and all the votes are registered. And on our own system, according to you, if such thing happens, it is rejected because they are fast for voting. I want to know how to do for manage that situation whereby people are vote for both votes and sadly they say they're not the register, so they don't know they are the register. Thank
you. Commissioner, I will draw your attention to the mandate of the committee for the tripartite, and I do have Roman number 2. It says, request access to all relevant documents, records, and information necessary for the conduct of its examination. Now, for the sake of transparency, credibility of your institution, what's wrong if una submit this data to the committee? Or what will be the consequence of your institution if una submit this data?
Good afternoon, Miriam Sinakote, Head of Production for Voices Online TV. The question just relates to the previous speaker, the timing, especially when we know we are in the era of mis and misinformation, and we don't see, I will say, the present situation with Salon Day right now because of the 2 months of silence from the ECSL. Because if we don't respond to some of them misinformation there, at least we know before the result is today. Where after 1 year we still will discuss but elections. So I want to know, is it that the ECSL not get the right information for provide to the public when they keep silent, or in other parts of the law for say una for only updates the public after 1 year? Then the other question, therefore, look at the allegation also where they say una publish results. Now on our website after some time una put and go back. And I must see you respond to that.
Okay, thank you very much. We've got up to 5. And now we'll go back to the commission. Start with the Chief Electoral Commissioner and then the commissioners.
All right. Yeah, I made reference to a social media where the opposition was in UK, opposition leader was in UK, and they mentioned that he went to America to get funding at the Senate for Carter Center. So basically what I was saying, for parties, political parties, instead of lobbying for funding for an organization who has its mandate to raise resources, you should raise funds for your party activities so that you have enough representation at polling stations, so that you'll be able to protect your votes, so that you have all necessary documents as an opposition or either as a government party to ensure that you are fully participating in the process. So that's what I was saying. I saw it in the social media. I say, and the social media all day now. So, okay, maybe I need for send the Dr. Samura Kamara in UK, the opposition. I saw it on social media. Whether it's fact or not, whether it was generated, but that's what we saw. And I even saw a letter was written to somebody in the US demanding explanation. Anyway, that is that. You asked me if we are happy about the perception. No. We want, as an institution, to have a national positive perception of what we do, acceptance of what we do. But the reality is, we cannot change people's opinion. Even where all of this we have done before election, we had experienced severally to political parties, to their leaders, to their leadership. That's why I said, when I was going around every other polling day, you go to a polling station where you have party again, they will say, we are fine with it. So, it is about, like somebody said, electoral commission are offered before election. The only way you can conduct election, that time you go get first appearance. And that first appear, it will either be the public, where then will feel say the result okay. I mean, just like when they watch football. When they watch football, some decision and they VR they give. When they come back, we say no, that offside did not be offside. VR don't what he said. So the perception from you, when are you that with that VR decision what he said, even though they not go through the procedure, they know it, but to you, you feel say that they not correct. But you don't know what are the circumstances surrounding. You're not in that room. We said they review that VR. Okay, so don't know more. We see them make that line, right? But you don't know there are some laws. There are some rules for letting you determine saying outside. Where you're not privy to. So it is about how we explain to our people why you feel say, even though it be a problem, Berawa accepts say, it congratulates. And at the beginning of peace, he congratulated the President Ernest Roma in 2007. He said, even though I don't agree, he said, but for the sake of the country in peace, I accept the results. That's how recently, when presidents and the opposition, they hold themselves, right? We see how everybody feel at ease. So this is a sign of unity, a message to we the supporters then. Say them people here, they don't agree for peace. So it is about the perception created by our leaders. If the perception where we don't go around say this commission, then Southeast will come out, right? We are not happy about that. But when you ask this na limba, limba, but because in the Mosue, if you say na Southern, a Mrs. name. So these are the perception we are talking about. Then they had an abundant from the heart of Milan, Tonkolili. My next one. Yoni for that matter. Nothing this Baka from Poloko. This is Amende. Been Amende Madingo.
With Tonkolili background.
So you see, it's not that we are happy about the perception being created by political party about the institution. We are not happy. So we want people to change this perception. That's why we now have started to engage, to tell our own story. It is late according to, it is somehow late. But as an institution, imagine they don't crucify you for 1.5 years before election. You conduct election and still they crucify you. So we get a policy, we get stages of whatever we do. So ensure that we are accurate. So immediately after the election, what we do? We go bold with all the commissioners from everybody. We go, we assess, we say what thing go right, what thing go wrong. From there, we reflect on what thing did not happen. From there, we put together our election report. And now we don't put to election report. We say it is now time for make we engage the public. So even though it's late, now music and dance. People they don't dance, they don't tire. So now we say we don't dance, they start. With the dance we start, we clarify. Let the public judge. We not the same way they stop voting and they go. But we, the factor will get, we are confident that we work within the laws, within waiting, give we the mandate. Somebody say on moral ground or whatever for release, waiting that they ask for. Could be don't give them waiting that they ask for. Then no party no come forward say they not receive the result reconciliation form. Police station level. Then they come out and say they don't get them. So we don't give them. What's in they ask for them get them? The law say give them. Give them. The law say we don't give them. You take your calculate. You collect at district level. The regional certifier. You count it. So that result we own again at the website. The district aggregated data summary, the regional, the national, until then our website. We not put any result. Unless maybe somebody be one for put result, they will not correct. So the system will automatically reject that. Because we have system. We have system that will deter any intruder. So the result we will put, if you go on our website today, it did it. Sign and stamp, it did it. Yeah? So the one way, if you get what yourself, and for use what he will give you for. We'll give you the result reconciliation for let you get access, let you get the information for Tally you. If you not use anatomy false. Yeah, so maybe commissioners.
On this issue of the president, the guilds paper, I think they will not understand we said. What will they say now? Very simple. Now about the reviews. Review, in a way, is directly proportional to progress. Anybody with a progress in their life, I should say every time you celebrate your birthday, they do an assessment of the previous year. What do you do well? What do you not do well? What do you need to do more? For then you get to which side you want to go. So no election, no the way perfect. We must get teething problems, challenges along the way. And at that time are the building blocks for the next cycle. We then look at their issues and they address them and make the appropriate laws. We go regulate their activities. So nobody not deny where they pay back anybody. Now computer, garbage in, garbage out. Now what in the people give it? Now we give. We not get no way for doing. Now waiting the people say. Now the voice of the people. Now we make public via the elections results. And whoever not satisfied with them, they're not very clear. The Supreme Court is there. So many people long go there. Before we get to PR, we implement them. We went to court. We've been there. At the end of the day, the court decide. So moving on, we don't want to let people feel like we say, oh, we don't do your election, sir. We'll not for do review. No, whether that's tripartite been there or not. Then I make if you listen where we boss they say, we go first in a bow. We get to your retreat. We look at what worked well. What did not work well? What needs to be done? That's the essence of the tripartite. In 3 words, what worked well? From 2007 to 2023, what did not work well? What needs to be done? That is strongly done. So it's about looking ahead. It's about setting the stage for improvement. It don't mean say the entire process flawed. No. You will get alpha problem. Even when we go get to 2028, we will get for come back in this room. And people will say, oh, small problem in there. This not be make fine. Look, we improve. Because not until today we begin get recommendations. EOM recommendations strong they come year after every election. We they get them. Liberia will get their own. Even though na opposition win. South Africa as well will get their own. Every country, Nigeria gets their own. We'll be ready for the elections. When we don't and compile the report, they make recommendations. Give them. The one where pass na parliament becomes law. The one who not go through parliament definitely not go be implemented. And somebody say, waiting make we not go just give. We want for them to understand say, we not they do anything outside the law. We're guided by the law. It's about the law. Tomorrow something go bad. Not to because I be want for help. Now the law. Is it in line with the law? If you're not inside the law, then don't expect it from us. Because we defend not the law. So not to sentiments. This thing that will do with the progress of this country. It borders around the destiny of the people of this country. We therefore be serious about it. It is not about few groups of people or about an individual. And another day we don't try to emphasize. People now they use people them, when they make a fool of people them, we're not able to come out to bring out the real picture. Who say we don't make mistake? Accept say you make mistake. As a commission, we know we lapses. And then we work on them. We don't go all priorities. We don't work on them. I don't forget stakeholders engagement. Now we first get for bring out the issues then. One of which will be even the topic voter registration. When we do voter registration, we realize that law where they say people can come out to identify people. They work. Because when are the people who can identify? You say village aid man they stand election. So that's the identify. Now the one who go out to vote. You say councillor, if they stand election, now that's they add to a vote. So they're not going to be sincere in the process. We don't get a true and fair report as required of them. So some of them things that we still don't see them, and we feel say there is need for reforms. So it don't mean say we comfortable with everything. This now we country. Salon. Now we all get her. Now we all there. We not get no other side for who. And nobody no like salon personally. And whatever we do, one know say we take oath for do and we stand by the result. If the court we ask me, you will listen the other day. If we may go court, they say produce the results, we will produce her. But what if we produce her now, another person take me to court? Or because people are asking, is it in line with the law? We have provided what the law requires from us. And that's the summaries. That is in the law. Disaggregated data, you have it with you. They have it with them. And this scatter result, they're not disaggregated. RRF. They're not disaggregated. They have it with them. So let me be honest. Thank you.
Commissioner Kouma.
Just a quick one on the question on the presidential turnout. Now, as part of we policies, procedures, we always take our available manual. For the categories they were referred to, like the security forces, then the police staff, and even the agents, then they only vote at the last station at a polling center. So, for example, you get a polling center of 4 stations: station 1, station 2, station 3, station 4. And they only allow them for votes at that polling station day. And additionally, when you go for votes, the register at the back, it gets space. So that they write your name there. When we write your name there, we call them addition to the register for that particular station day. So at the end of the day, we constant name the day and add them to the register of that particular station day. So clearly, we get procedures. In fact, the AXLAF, get on before the D-Day, election day, they always give a list of the deployments there, so that we will take notes. Also, if you don't allow them for votes, people have also criticized the ECSL. They say we don't disenfranchise people there. Imagine the thousands of SLP, thousands of ASLAF. We employ over 9,000 polling staff. Then every station gets 2 agents, 1 in, 1 out, all in 1 a day. If you don't allow them for votes, what will happen? They will say, disenfranchise them. So we're not able to make them vote for all the elections because we don't make provision for parliamentary and local council elections. What you can do for presidential elections, because in the national elections, and the whole country, they vote for a particular district, we allow them for votes. But you get procedure. You go to the last station, then they write your name at the register where you go votes, so that when they do the tallying, you will be accountable.
Dear Mr. George, now addendum. Today now by day. By the way, Chair not recognize me. We are really follow trend. Today now the first day officially or start the second year, the second 5-year tenure as electoral commissioner for the Southern region. Ola the formula. I took out of office on Friday. For me, when I get that information, but no one will say I made a come. I don't come. Now, to the issue properly. One lady journalist raised a concern around the timing of this press conference. One assurance I want to give is engaging with the public not only by holding press conferences. You know, there are different strategies of engagement. Who now will do the media, who will know about journalism. Their engagements will be ongoing. In fact, they were more hectic after the elections. We engage with the opposition, All People's Party, All People's Congress political party now severally. Then come, they meet with the chairman, they meet with the commission. We engage with international partners severally. They ask a lot of issues. And by the way, one thing we are observing over the tripartite engagement, out of the 50 questions, 30 of the questions that they are asking are questions that we APC are asking before the election, during the election, and even after the elections. And we still continue back for answer those questions. So I agree with you about the timing of this press conference. But for talk's sake, will not be engaged with the public. We'll be to keep the public informed. In logic, we know they beg the question. We know they beg somebody for can we go court. They will come call and say they don't can we go court. After the conduct of the elections, there were engagements. Nobody took us to court or say this election or so thing I don't conduct not proper. So now that happened. But for say we not be absolutely get engagements, we are engaging with partners as and when issues will emerge. Even the National Election Watch, then they come, they meet with, they ask on issues. We get back to them. We are consultative, we are engaging, and we are responsive. Just one at that part of it.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Alpha. Commissioner Kanu.
All right, yeah. I just want to have a small point here. You know, there is an adage we say proper planning will prevent problems. We joined the commission on the 13th of March 2023. Already there is a date for the elections. But now, inside this hall, and people they ask the leadership of this commission. They ask questions. Are you sure you're going to have election on June 24, 2023? Yeah. So they have no more frankness. You have the introduction of this commission. You know, I've invited myself for one thing amongst you. Even I wish nobody talking in the reality. And you talk in the when. Even when you're a writer and a reader. Commissioner Kuruma is from Kotoko. I am from Bolivia. She's a Limba. The mother, the father, they are Limbas, but she's born in Freetown. And she's representing the commission here in Freetown. The only Mendema who gets an answer, the only Mendema, I have Commissioner Alpha, we born from Bolivia. I did the parents of Bobona. You know, Konneh is Madinga. And this is the only country we all have. We have one sanity there. And we all are aware, say, it's a learning process. The outcome will lead to a chaotic situation. Some of us don't witness war in this country. I don't want to repeat of that for the next generation. You know, what I try to see, when you not prepare for a situation, you know, and you know you want it, you make it difficult for whosoever. If the scribe of the APC was asking us here, are you sure you're going to have elections on June 24? You know, what you have the talks about games and other things that for I remember the last the most said now we play Oliver in Peter Masters. She was so angry, you know, she cannot manage her emotions. And it's very like it happens to some parties in the past elections. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Kanu. Okay. Now I think we will get the last set. So the last set. So now it will be both ends and you.
Mohammed Usman Bandura, publisher and Amazon Times newspaper. I'm back to ECSL. Go off into salon and congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Mr. Commissioner, the observers of the commissioners, the international observers raised a series of doubts the outcome of the election, including the EU. They also raised doubts on the outcome of the election. And all the facts for this election are the data, starting from the registration onto the conduction of the election, onto the voting, the pronouncement of the president, the data are the issue, and I give this first. I go out for it, a small statement from the EU observation mission as alone, waiting and tell me that Sindu at that time, they said some system was not conducted, and there was no public information on the security safeguard of the result management system. He mentioned that could be helped defend political tension. I want to know if ECSL know about these statements, and if they know, will I ever respond to this? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get Roma, reporter for Comfort Times newspaper. We get their parties because of the issues in the 2023 elections. And also, for the first time, I stand to be corrected. Projections of local observers new to be specific not correspond with the official results with ECSL pool. We also get international observers who raise similar issues about the conduct of the election in June 2023. So putting all of this together, how would you assess the credibility, fairness, and transparency of the election? Thank you.
Isaac Unisa Kabar. My question here is still for the commission
to show their votes. And I want to ask, as a body that is established to conduct electoral processes in the country, is it that ECSL no longer has the power to secure votes of political parties in the country?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I just want to because I think ID cards, voter ID cards, we not commensurate the way they are now chief of self. And part from our period, I have pictures of them. We then they call them, then the photo not relate to the person. When they call person, the go, the photo not relate to you. So that is enfranchised a lot of people. I want to know one don't raise issues say that the problem with party stem and that is application our electoral concerning of voters whether it was right or not, whether that action was deliberate or maybe that is enfranchised certain unions then. And secondly, given that cannot be the raised issue tripartite recommendation, they recommend say make una resign, una will resign.
Yeah. Last question. Hello. Ibrahim Sanko once more after for this paper. We see the commission has opened all this who has started the process. Get 13 political parties. SLPP no one all talk make us say agree for everything. But when a statement no mention SLPP say they disagree. Everything concord, everything they agree because they pay the aim of affairs.
That in one tell this house, but everything opposition, opposition, opposition. So one go where SLPP when a politic contest, how about go observe the election critically. We're gonna give it pass BBC for Uber go observe the elections. So that is the question. SLPP agreed everything we want to do.
All right, thank you very much. I think we go on for less one person give it clarity in the question we ask. The last, second to last. Yeah, talk about Corona, so we will get that proper. Yeah.
Concerning the upcoming election, so now at the time for now the respond to another say, please let us commissioners not able
for secure
political parties.
All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. So we will go over again to the CEC and the commissioners. Yes, sir.
You see, I want to be very deliberate here, or make we understand what's in the tripartite mandate say. It said look into the electoral system for 2023, guided by events from 2007 upwards. I think that's the general focus. But it appears, and from this discussion, who they get now, even as journalists, nobody now ask any question about anything will happen 2007, 2012, 2018. We need for prove me right. So it shows that everybody in focus is only on the present. And if we focus on the present, you forget about what thing don't happen. And elections, would they say standard laws? For 5 elections, we don't establish standards. How will they manage the results? How will they do voter registration? In every election, we try for use the previous lessons we learned for improve on the other election. So the question is not only about the tripartite camp because of problems associated with just this election. Otherwise, they're not before don't call the previous commissioners. If there are big problem, let me go back to say this. If we fix the result management system, I just Konneh can introduce them for 2023. No. The result management system, where it say we develop a system, we receive result from police station, here and go for both tally. It's not a system where even the international expert will be not get all the other elections. Now they help we for establishing. The only difference is for 2023 election, we say Sierra Leoneans, when I don't here for 15, 20 years, let me manage your young process. Government say they give 90%, they fund the election fully. So, as a commission, the major thing when they talk about result management, the only thing will be one for introduce and before transmit result from the station to the center, where they kick against. So if we say that system, it be good, the elections were acclaimed credible and transparent in 2007, in 2012, and the same system we use for 2023. So let me get that perception back about what will happen before we get condemn what happened in 2023. So the tripartite no count only for problems where if you say emanate from the election, no. Problem in they don't happen. Otherwise, will not be for get court cases. Otherwise, will not be for the APC, not be for deny for congratulate. And the question is whether SLPP are happy about all things. Maybe you need to watch some of the social media postings of SLPP bloggers there. Let's get a new question. I get your question. Take for instance the Western Rural, some of them will say Western Oba, and they win the mayoral election. So then say get your questions. Then raise your issues. It's not only APC or SLPP. When we were doing the voter registration, SLPP raised a series of issues. They came here, we discussed. APC raised a series of issues. They came here, we discussed, clarified. But the bottom line is, we as the Electoral Commission, responsibility, provide the space, follow the law, and we still have the mandate to ensure that whatever people's will, as demonstrated by the votes where they cast, it represents the result where they come out with. So in other words, now responsibility for guide people that vote until the time who they announce. And that make we not give the result reconciliation, we not give ballot papers to political parties, we not even give them to police. Even when we use the security vehicles, we ensure say now we start for them hold that document there. So now responsibility for announcing, for count the results, enter and keep that record and process them. Why make the context at which we are the same? Political parties are for fair money, for be active and honest. Now for able support what will they come out with, or disagree what will they come out with evidence. Provide resources for make you deploy your staff there. Because now that's we open, now that's maybe they open the space. Otherwise, for don't say let party they stay in the office, who go do election, we can't count. Yeah? So if we don't give the space, like we will say we deploy 90-something staff, we get the resources, we recruit them, and responsibility for come with what we recruit them for. So it is also your responsibility. We will create the space. Now that way we could say inclusive electoral processes. For let everybody play part of you. You get your responsibility, Mr. Give me your responsibility. At the end of the day, we all agree say yes. So now that context they are the same. Let them say, play their own role where you will give them the accreditation for. And it's well in the act. You get party agents, you get the counting agents, where you're not agents for the pool. After the pool, you move to counting agents. That's your identity. We also give accreditation for them for let them name at the Tally centers. Yeah, it's like we give you Tally, we give you accreditation for both Tally. You know what they will say because you know the what is said from. So, in as much as you get responsibility for accredit you, it's your responsibility to be there. But you not be there, not go give you the permission, say, we not go do the right thing. We do the right thing. Yeah? I think there are some concerns when I talk about voter registration. Maybe the most talk about issue in the Western region, where I go one Commissioner Western region talk about any other.
Voter registration, Western area. Western area we get series of issues there. One, I think I just don't mention them. We get bad behavior from so many people that people would expect much from. Like the law very clear. You go come and identify somebody, say this speaking law 18 years. And we go accept them. Place like upline, chief na for life. Western area, the village man, before now have been 4 years. And now they do 5 years.
Yeah.
So you will see because now these two elections will be there for do, the village elections will never come before the general elections. You will see a situation where one village man will come with sometimes family member will not qualify for votes. They come and tell you, say this person at 18 years. But when you check, the pikin not even reach 18 years, sometimes not even 16 years. For normally they register them, so go add to the votes. Another day, you get other one them where they come and they falsify documents them like the birth certificates, we even make arrests, several arrests. The birth certificates, we go meet one man, him they print the birth certificates at my house alongside the new currency where they be just released. So they begin for arrest them with the people them where they issue the birth certificates to. Not enough update. Fake school leaving certificates as well. So many school authorities them sit down and they make fake school leaving certificates for picking them. They don't even mind the consequences because them picking their so now they add some 3 years to the age or 2 years to the age. If they go to the civil register. Tomorrow benefits come for picking when they below that age, you don't qualify. So we go and center them like one side in the where one of the councillor them come at the center. This meeting they come for can register. What in our age? The name will be different. The age will be now they explain for the beginning. At the end of the day, the beginning papa come and call a different name. When the papa call different name, the councillor they will care. Now almost here the binding your age, the councillor get the age. We just bundle the all together go center police station. So if you now be observed, you notice that at some point people that they come and say we refuse to register first time voters. It not be true, and I believe we issue a press statement on that day. The reason now because people that by all means may want to beat the system. And when they talk about credible elections, it begins with the data. If the voter register flawed, then the entire process is questionable. Because now waiting we don't register, who that say we register, and then they can't vote. And this one tied with the civil register. Some man equally maintain at the system. Then go register on the other side. Because the system not be linked, they not be no so we go pick them. When we go now for do the deduplication, where all political parties be there, all including the SLPP, the APC, and all the other political parties and civil society organizations, and with any center, we for pick out them people and they young picking them when we already beat the system, we able for pick them out because we'll be able to get the raw data from NCRA, so we know so that we don't register them from school. And what you mean funny and the fact that they're all they qualify for votes between May and June, on the eve of June 24. So none in the January, now May, June, majority be there June 23. So we end up for pull them at the system. Then you get a situation where some people will they complain say, oh, so I register also they be named for them. The reason for that day, then do multiple registration. When you do multiple registration, the commission gets the power for retain one. So we delete one, then we left all the now 4 or 5 you don't do. We just left one at the system. So you get the responsibility for fair way. Now we they say disaggregated data. Somebody talk about disaggregated voter register. I want to make this very clear. We display the voter register. Now that name will make we end up for realize say some people they names them not fall na the centers them where they get. We put them up na some of the centers they will be get to all or put them up. Some na grown self will be there. We also get a software where we make public people and they check the records them online. So this issue of voter registration, disaggregated voter register, will not even publish them, not true. And what would they expect equally so? Journalists, most of we waiting at this room, except for few. Most of we be the witness the press conferences. And at every stage of the process, we they come and make public with observations, the actions, the more we don't take, and waiting at the next step. And what would they require of una? So some of them things that way we even they ask questions. We for be bold enough to say, but me witness this. Yes, it may get problems, and at the reason that they make them public. The voter register equally been done at the hand. Final list of voters. It been done at the hand. So how you say we not publish voter register? What is the definition of publication? Voter register, you get the soft copies. Every one of them from fit on to the last village. You get an and you earn. So why you they say we not make them public, we not publish them? It is with you. And then them print and give them party agents when be then at the center. So then they use that name for even check. When people let they come, oh yes, a name they infested it. We even increase the font size, not on the normal size. So instead of 10 or sometimes 15, then at the voter register where we print it to we staff them, we make a I think I mean 10 we did it. But it is so much that you didn't see the person they come. So it's not ever possible say we disenfranchise anybody. Then we go defend any day, anywhere. It not ever happen and it not will ever happen. Everybody will present themselves for vote. Voted on that day. They voted on that day. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the questions the way I think most of you somebody asked was SLPP in agreement with all election results. The answer is no. Like Chia will not say, even the mayor in Freetown, they challenge the result, but myself not gonna replace society for who. You know, we also believe, you know, we get some side for who. We don't comfortable with the results. So the one we lose the other election at Freetown, you not gonna society for who. Then somebody also asked us to, they say, if they ask you for resign, if we go resign, me a big no, I will not. I will not. So the left the rest to ask I will not. Then somebody also asked, he said, if we get disaggregated data, if we get her. That question, I will as well say, before I provide the answer, the yes answer is yes, but it's irrelevant. An entity like this, with sober-minded people like us, you telling us we do conduct an election, and we don't have this much talk about data, we have it. We have it. But if you want it from us, there are procedures. And it has not been done, it has not been practiced. Then somebody asked, new or ECSL, which is which? Well, you know, it is only ECSL that has the mandate to declare a winner of an election. So any other soul of Adam who must have done what he has done, it is left with him or her. That mandate is for ECSL. So I just want for brief answers to these questions. Thank you.
Okay. In fact, I will take exactly from Musai Commission and Kanu stop. On somebody asked a question about the PRVT when you release. And honestly, I think one of the issues at these elections. But I think say that the way you represent that. Because in terms of ranking the candidates, it's not different from the election results we produce. But if we look at the context, right, we get 11,820 polling stations. 802 polling stations. New, they do their sample on 700 polling stations, when about 6% of the total polling stations. But look at what the results say. What did I say? They say the SLPP candidates then give them an upper limit of 53.1%. New, the PRVT. They give the SLPP candidates an upper limit of 51%. The APC candidates an upper limit of about 49.2%. They give the APC candidates an upper limit of 49.2%. So what are they saying? In terms of ranking the candidates, What we say ranking na position. What we dey teach, we dey rank pikin them in a class. So in terms of the rank, right? The rank did not change at all. And it's not supposed to be the same with the one we do a thorough job, we do over 11,000 police stations, to the one we do only 700. But let me tell you that even the PRVT, it get challenges well widely known all over the world. It did. If you check them, even from USAID, NDI, one of the challenges they will get. Now forget, they say a sample may not be nationally representative. A sample may not be nationally representative. I know they say, like the case with New York, I don't know, but these are widely reported challenges. Two, they can get inaccurate data. They self liable for get inaccurate data. So when I just stay younger in the center, possible say that person will say inaccurate data. They self can get observer partisanship. Of course. Now, more than mandate. You get observer partisanship. You know, maybe not all my go say an independent observer, right? They say PRBT may not account for ballots not for security forces. Remember when they talk about them people will vote for presidential, but they not likely vote for other elections because they don't get at the center outside the votes, and the data you don't take account of them one day. You don't take account of them at all. Now, who's I want for end really like that? There are stories of PRVT in other countries. I give you two examples. Now, countries the way they use PRVT, a match with the final results with the Electoral Commission released, but at the end of the day, the Supreme Court overturned the election that day. And I quote, because I do some research on that. It says recent court decisions in Kenya and Malawi call into question the infallibility of PVRT as an accurate reflection of election results. The decision of courts in Kenya in 2017 and Malawi in 2020 where elections were clearly manipulated but not detected by PVRT systems deployed there lend credence to the possibility that PVRTs can be manipulated. I know they said that happiness alone. No, that is why you are bringing them. You're bringing an example of what allow him to finish. Are you with me? Hey, I am not saying. Hey. That's not the problem. Is that a problem with what I'm saying? Please allow the commissioner to finish. I am only saying that in other countries it has happened. And the PVRT itself has challenges. I am not saying it is what's happening in Sierra Leone, but when we look at the PVRT, we have to look at the way it has been used in other countries. Not only rightly so, if you have been following elections, you know it has happened in Malawi and it has happened in Kenya. Both of those elections, the PVRT were consistent with the election results, but the Supreme Court ended up overturning those election results. I'm just giving you an example, right? But overall, the ranking between the new and ECSL is consistent. The positions did not change, right? They did 700, we did 11,832. They said they got 53%, we said we got 56.1%. In my view, it should not have been a big problem because it's just a 3% difference. And we did more. They did only 6%. We did 100%. So on that basis, and because the PVRT itself is prone to the challenges I have already mentioned, so I think you can look at the two and then probably make your own conclusion, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think Commissioner Alpha wants to add the two.
Yeah. I want to say thank you from my colleague commissioners. The issue of asking commissioners to resign, not to a novelty. It started even before the conduct of the polls, the June elections who conduct. The APC, they write to you over 310. They say all for resign, including Chief Electoral Commissioner and Chairman. In fact, that meeting, na me know na me chair PPLC meetings, the political parties liaison committee meetings. We make them very clear to them, say we know they resign. We know resign that time. We know they resign now. Me, they don't swear me in. I'm going to stay for another 5 years. By God the power, inshallah. This is a mandate. It's a constitutional mandate. We have not done anything wrong for warrant for resignation. So thank you very much, Commissioner Kanu, for the answer we give for that. Chair know they resign. Neither any one of you. So no one, everybody begin to talk about one. I don't talk about all. We are not going to resign. Now, I want to bring you to the issue of a concern when one of the journalists they talk about the EU observers, or generally the concerns will come up about from observers on the doubts and outcome of the elections. Observers then get responsibility for make recommendations. And those recommendations will be based on what you call informed judgment. But one issue I want to make clear to you now as journalists is what we stop for look at the conduct of elections with African countries through the colonial lens. Looking at the conduct of elections in our respective African countries through the colonial lens. We don't become of age as a country. In Sierra Leone now, we have moved from the stage of consolidation. We have gone to the point of deepening democracy. And now we are talking about maturation. The same EU observers we they quote, you get instances there, we will go quote to you, we get time, but we're not going to give you now because of time. From 2007, 2012, 2018, where they commend the very good works of this commission. Most of the issues that will come out, they are very alarmist. They are inconsistent as theirs are inconsistent. So the idea of saying they raise doubt over the conduct of our elections is their judgment. But the proof of that lies with them, and they have not proven it. After the election, then come back. They engage you. The senior bosses, them in Brussels and elsewhere, they were here with us. They engage me similarly over a 2-hour engagement. All the questions, all the issues, they don't come up. And we don't want to be seen as victims of international conspiracy. But to a very large extent, it emerged. But we stood the test of time as a commission to address those issues. So I just want to actually say, all of the observers that we don't come over the years, just like how we say, we will not watch this lens from 2023 perspective. Take it backwards from 2007 to date. Then you get a clear picture of what has been happening. The game plan and how we succeeded in doing the right thing for this country. So I'll stop there and maybe colleagues will get something for us. Maybe just say one person something.
All right, I think since we've come to the end of the questions, right? Falaba. I think Commissioner no answer. Yeah, not quite. Well, precisely the voter register will go with. All right. No. The voter register will send. Then the guiding law. Even if you go without voter ID card, you name it in that register. You dey vote. Now that make register will not be allowed you for vote. If you go with card, the name not in at the register. So we don't come to the end before we the director close the curtain. I want to tell una thank you for una come. This is a relationship, not like husband and wife. Na can go to a sweet, and sometimes they can bitter. And the related political parties there, or like the police and the drivers. So, without political parties, ECSL don't exist. Just like doctor, every day they pray for their person sick. Right now, you know the problem I get with the staff there. They say no by election because of the PR. Like by now, if not to be the PR system, for not conduct about 10 vacancies. So these are the good things for 2023 we will appreciate. The PR system don't reduce the political tension. I may take today when they talk about 2023. If we will do by elections, like that constituency election, they will affect the two parties. They're not even member of the 2023. Yeah? Because from what we conduct 2018, all the arguments are by election to by election. So we always go work with the political parties now they get this institution. Sometimes when we meet here, we can go to level 4, almost they holler among themselves. Then we can level 1. So now that make us say the political party they support us make us tell you now directly. What's in there they talking on radio? What's in there they talking on news, press conferences? Not so in when they talk where we meet now this hall. Many of the way they kids mapia that can we Konneh na thief na this. Oh me they meet up na laugh with the laugh. So I want make una know una not make the commission as una target. We they did the work waiting the law give we. And be rest assured we'll continue for work with the political parties for ensure say we improve on the electoral system in this country. Yesterday, me and the Secretary General meet up this weekend. The job, we said meet up na beach day. We said the job. As we meet up, he say you. Now he say that you begin this. He say okay, another talk. Now we laugh, we pass. We'll meet up some of them. We want a college, we go. Some of them are there political club in Football College or wherever. Many of them were the APC, that the White Man Club they belong. Who say are they? So when we meet up, yeah. When we meet up, at the time they say, hey, buddy, keep quiet. Now you talk where they go talk now for you funded, now for your political party. So you go, you can you get other political group there, student group there, where them one I belong to. So I will be basically I will bring this. I will bring this for make you understand say Sierra Leone na normal guess. And we all related. Me woman na Creole na Christian. Me na Muslim. But this woman na liba married to Menema. But then we left the politics for mixing with the culture, the tradition where this country known for, we're not tolerant. I want a situation, if you left to me, maybe why they end the time there. I want for take one thing the man from Bombali being in the campaign of this country for bring the Mende and Timni divide together. This is not the elephant in the room we no one talk about. The Mende and Timni. If we able to come together, this country will be peaceful. So these are the things that the civil society for they talk to the political parties. Political party for look into inclusivity, not only on whether they come out, whether they come out. But let them work on the issue where they bring all tribes to the table. So if we talk about law reform, from where can they accuse me? I don't put anybody in there because in a TV. Or I not deny any opportunity for anybody because in our other tribe. You get what you deserve. So now we begin to talk about this. It's a public discourse. These are issues we want to talk about. Honestly, I want for the inner stage. We say me, na Mende Madingo, editing the man. This is something what they talk about. Recently, when I attended Umar Fufana in Dadi in 40 days, me and Almami Kamara, we all know Almami Kamara, honorable, former honorable, a young generation or youth of APC leader. Now, me and also, we take photo. Now, that will be the talk about. Say, let's break this barrier. The Mende intimidate. We have to talk about this. If we don't talk about it, we therefore be fooled by politicians. Therefore be fooled by politicians. They will tell we say now because I come out. So I really want that we get this message. There are so many things we did for this election, which are positive, but nobody talks about it. Everything we talk about is aggregated data. So let me say now, let me introduce VR. But going forward, let me also force the political parties there. But let them talk about inclusivity on regional, on tribal. You would like to see a situation if Namedeman are president, vice president in Liman, the AG in other tribe. These are the things that we have been saying. Civil society as a country we talk about, as we talk about tripartite. For me, we resign. Now 12 months left for me. So I know they resign. Because I not do anything wrong. And they don't meet time by God in power. Once life today, and they don't have. Yeah, because I not do anything wrong, and the commission not do anything wrong or make somebody ask for me to resign. Salon, we come for work. I left, I mean, they get money. So I know we can't do all this. Then somebody just can't say enough for left. So thank you. I'm not saying this is a message overload. Therefore, take some time for digest that. But thank you so much. We'll continue for work with the media. Whenever you get any issue, this is in charge of media. When I call her, I don't want anybody for call me. The one day when I go through, and if you not agree for talk to me, I will call you, boss. Yeah. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.